Good morning to all. So in previous class we have discussed about a primary and secondary structure of DNA. So how it will base pairs means here we have four base pairs which are named as A, G, C and T. Okay. So here there is a bond forms. Bond means here if you see here in this is a one strand which contains A, G, C, T. Okay. So these are bonded with the other means this is the A is a nothing but purine. So always purines means purines form bonds with this pyrimidines. Okay. So like that, if you see here, A is bonded with the T, thymidine. Always A is bonded with the thymine, and C when you take the G means what is the G? Guanine. Okay, guanine always bonds with form with this cytosine with triple bond. Means here three hydrogen bonds are present between the cytosine and guanosine, right? So if you take this adenine and thymine, so how many bonds are there between A and T? So there are double bonds will be there. So okay. So let's see. Actually one ratio is there. So these are called as base pairs. Means these base pairs are. So these are the base pairs. So one of the base is paired with the another base. Okay. Another base. So always. So you have to remind in your. So remember. So A and G are purines. Okay. And what about this cytosine and thymidine? Okay. So these are the pyrimidines. Okay. Always in DNA or RNA. Okay. These are the DNA bases. DNA bases are A, G, C, T. Okay. So there is a bond formed between A and T. Okay. And C and G like this. Okay. So here what is the which type of bond presents here? Hydrogen bonding is present between the adenine and thymine, as well as same here two double bonds means two hydrogen interactions are present in the between the adenine and thymine. And what about this guanine and cytosine? There are three hydrogen interactions are present between the guanine and cytosine. If you see here, I have shown you already with this red mark pen. So here we have seen 1, 2, 3. But what about here between A and thymidine? So there is two hydrogen interactions are present. Okay. So next what will be there now here in this one? Always this ratio should be 1. Okay. This percentage of adenine and thymine should always be 1, as well as same if you take the guanine and cytosine. So here also it should be the same. Means it exists. So if it shows the 1, then so in primary or in secondary structures of DNA, so what will be happen here? This ratio of A and T and G and C should be always equal to greater than 1. Okay, greater than 1. If you take means so finally what is the conclusion here? So we'll have, so if you this is the percentage of purines. Okay, and what about the percentage of pyrimidines? Okay, pyrimidines should always be equal to 1. This is the conclusion. Okay, this is the 1. Okay. So most of the means here purine and pyrimidine DNA is a linear structure because due to hydrogen bonds. Okay, the DNA is a linear structure. Okay, let's see how the bonding is present between the A and T. Okay, and C and G. Means we have to show the how the means hydrogen interactions are present in this one. Okay. So we have to take up pyrimidines. We have to take up pyrimidines which are having, we can write it as R. So we are taking this adenine compound Okay. So next here NH is there, NH2 bond is there now. So next here NH is there, and we have to write the pyrimidine, which is this is the adenine. Okay, this is the adenine. So adenine always forms bonds with the thymine. Okay. So let's see how the bonding is present in the between this. This is a thymine. Okay, this is thymine. Here this hydrogen is there, so there is a two hydrogen bonding interactions are present between adenine and thymine. So let's see what are those. If you see here, this is the one hydrogen bonding present, which is a nitrogen atom. We have to write NH2. NH2 is there now in this adenine. Okay, so at fourth position there is amine group, so that's why. So this amine group shows the hydrogen bonding with the pyrimidine, which is a thymine. Okay, which is a thymine. Okay, so here double bond will be present. So this is one hydrogen bonding. Let's see another hydrogen bonding is present between this amine and this one nitrogen. Okay, so there is a two hydrogen bonds are present between the adenine and thymine. Okay, let's see the cytosine and guanine. Okay, so how these will interact with each other. Here we'll have this one pyrimidine. I am writing here. So it is a our group is here. Here double bond will be there. Here N H is there, and we have to write another H. Okay. So next, this is the cytosine. This is the cytosine. Okay. And let's see this one. Here we'll have double bond here. This is the purine. This is the purine one. Here NH is there, and another H will be present. This amine group is there now. So next we have to write this is a NR and this one. Okay. So let's see how many hydrogen bonds are present between this one. Here, if you see here clearly, this is very close to each other, so it forms one hydrogen bonding, and here it forms another hydrogen bonding, and this amine hydrogen and this oxygen will bounce from the three hydrogen bonds. So like this between adenine and thymine and cytosine and guanine. This is a guanine. So there is a three hydrogen bonding interactions are there, so that's why we have to show this one as a T, means double bond here. Two interactions are there. Next we have to show this as C. Here three hydrogen interactions are there. Okay. So like that same secondary structure also, this is the primary structure. Okay, primary structure of the DNA. So like that same in the secondary structure also, what will be happening now? So secondary structure, actually in 1953 Watson and Crick proposed this double bond helix structure. Okay, so this secondary structure of DNA X-ray analysis. So this is having double helical structure. If you see clearly this one. So these are having purines and pyrimidines which are bonded with their corresponding pyrimidines or purines. Okay, pyrimidines and purines. Okay, so this consists of here two polynucleotide chains are there which are helically, means here these are combined and form the helical structure. Helical structure, actually we are having minor groove and major groove. Here also, what about the total percentage of purines and pyrimidines? Let's see what is the here. If you see here, let's see what is the percentage of this one. Okay, so percentage of G plus A by percentage of C plus T is equal to 1. So this also it should be 1. Okay, so percentage of purines by percentage of pyrimidine should be equal to 1. So it is, so if it satisfy this formula, so it means this ratio will be like this. Okay, the mole percentage of adenine is, means if you take adenine, the mole percentage of adenine is equal to that thymidine. Okay, if you take the cytosine, it will be equal to that guanosine. Means pyrimidine ratio and purine ratio should be 1. Okay, so if you take a DNA strand, suppose if it is having thousand number of adenine molecule at the same time, so it is having 1000 number of thymidine. Okay, so it should be, means it has to satisfy this rule. Okay, it has to satisfy this percentage of purine and percentage of pyrimidine, it should be equal to 1. Okay, so then only this DNA exists. Okay, exist. So here same, so we are having the same, it is applicable to all the base pairs which are the adenine, thymine and cytosine and guanosine. Okay, here what is the bond length? Here click the 34 angstrom units are there for repeat distance. If you see here, there are a repeat distance are there. So for this one, it is having some 34 angstrom units distance between this one. So double chain is wound into a helix, means if you see these turnings, it will be like this. Okay, so like this. If you see here this, it will be. And here also sugar phosphate, means here this is connected to sugar which is connected to phosphate, means sugar phosphate backbone is in outside. Okay, is in outside. So like this, it is having this structure. Okay, let's see this is the secondary structure of this one. Okay, so let's see the tertiary structure of the DNA. So in primary structure only single strand will be there. So we have to notice that in primary structure single strand is present. In secondary structure there is a double stranded helix structure. Okay, double stranded helix structure will be present in the secondary structure of DNA. Okay, so let's see the tertiary structure of DNA. It's just simple one. Okay, so here tertiary structure is nothing but your tertiary structure of DNA. Okay, so this double helical system undergoes supercoiling. Supercoiling appears a mass lump. Is here these are coil like this. Okay, so so that's why this is means it looks like a lump. Okay, lump. Okay, so this is about the tertiary structure of DNA. So same base pairs will be present, same as the primary and secondary, which are adenine, thymine and cytosine and guanosine. So there is a double bond will be there, and between this C triple bond. So but what is the difference here? For primary only single strand is there, means here two single stranded are bonded with each other. Here secondary structure there is a double strand one. Okay, so here in tertiary structure double bond helical structure is supercoiling. So that's why it forms a tertiary structure. Okay, so let's see the structure of RNA. structure of RNA. So unlike DNA, RNA exists as a single strand only. Okay, there is no double and tertiary structure, so only it is having single strand with phosphate sugars. Okay, single strand with phosphate sugar, okay, with phosphate sugar as a backbone. What is this one? It is called as backbone. Okay, so this is called as backbone. So nitrogen here also same produces nitrogen bases which are here only the difference, there is no thymine. In the place of thymine here uracil is present. Okay, adenine, next guanine, next thymine, no thymine, cytosine and uracil. Uracil is present in the place of the thymine. Okay, so here only it is having a single strand. This is a RNA. Here we will have three types of RNA which are, let's see the types of RNA. So three types of RNA there. One is messenger RNA, and second one is transfer RNA, which is called as, this is the short form of this one is mRNA. mRNA is nothing but messenger RNA. Next one is transfer RNA. Transfer RNA, which is a, we call it as, so this is a tRNA. Okay, tRNA. T means what? Transfer. M means what? Messenger. Okay. So next third one is ribosomal RNA. So ribosomal RNA is nothing but here rRNA. So we have to show means here you have to use the same means smaller letters only for this one. mRNA, tRNA, rRNA is there. Okay, so three types of RNA are present in this one. Okay, so next let's see the nucleic, how the nucleic acids heredity is present. Okay, nucleic acids heredity is present. Okay, so DNA, from DNA it forms mRNA. Okay, so mRNA forms tRNA. Next it forms a protein synthesis. So how we will produce protein synthesis? So first DNA should produce mRNA. mRNA is converted into tRNA. tRNA will give the protein synthesis. Okay, protein synthesis. Okay, so let's see how the protein synthesis follows. Okay, this protein synthesis, for getting proteins, okay, protein synthesis, so three process should be done, which are replication, transcription, and third one is translation. Okay, translation. Here what is the replication process here? So in replication process, identical copies of DNA will be produced. Okay, identical copies of DNA will be produced. Okay, so means which are formed daughter molecules. These are called as daughter. These produces the daughter molecules. Next, transcription. This process is identical copies of DNA are forming. Here also identical copies of DNA, but in single strand. Okay, RNA in single strand. Okay, so what it will be there here? It transform this one and read by DNA and carry from nucleus to ribosomes. Okay, nucleus to ribosomes. Okay, next let's see the translation. This is nothing but it is the process of by which DNA decodes the genetic message. DNA decodes the genetic message and uses the information to build the protons. From this one it build the protons. Build the protons. Okay. Proteins. So that's information is stored in DNA. Is stored in DNA, but read and used by mRNA. Read and used by mRNA. Read by, not here, DNA decodes message, and read by RNA, mRNA. So then it's transformed into tRNA. Then this tRNA is helpful for the synthesis of proteins. Okay. So proteins. Let's see the replication process. First one is replication process. Replication. So here replication is there. So we have to take the base pairs first, which is having A, G, C, A, whatever the means, it forms randomly. It contains this one. Okay, so C, G, T, T. Next, so it A combines with T, G combines with C, C combines with G, and again A combines with T here. Here also T will be there. Okay, so next here G will be there, and C will be there. Here A will be there, and A. Okay. So this is our DNA strand, parent strand. What it is? Parent strand. So from parent strand, so there is a identical copies of daughter strand will be produced. Okay, means not that identical as it is. So it randomly produces this one. Okay. So let's see. So these are splitted like this. These are splitted like this. Means here A is there, G, C, A here, T, C, G, T, and T is there, C, T, T, we have G here, A, C, G, whatever the one, not exactly identical, so it will be there like this. Okay, so here G, C, A, and A will be there. Okay, so this means one strand will give the two strands. Okay, so this is called as new strand. This is called as new strand. Okay, new strand. This is 5 prime to 3 prime. Okay, so here like this it will give this like this. Okay, so this is a DNA polymerase enzyme which helps in the DNA synthesis. Okay, DNA synthesis like this. So if you see this one, we'll get the double helix. We'll get the double helix. Okay, double helix strand. You can will get like this. Okay, so here new strand will be present. New strand will produces. Okay, new strand will produces like this. We'll get this one. Okay, so means here this is the double stranded one, so which is in helix form, and which produces daughter strand. Okay, daughter strand. So like this, Okay, so this is the old strand, means parent strand, old strand, and this is the daughter strand, means new strand. Okay, so here we will have G, C, C, A. So we will have the base pairs and each strand. Okay, so like that. So this is also old strand, and this is the new strand, means which is a daughter strand. So like that. So it produces the copies of this one daughter strands. Okay, so this is the replication. Replication is nothing but production of this one. Okay, so replication of this one. Enzyme catalyzed the process. This is the enzyme catalyzed process. Means here all enzymes are worked out in this one enzyme catalyzed process. Catalyzed process that begins with the partial unwinding, means here partial unwinding. Actually here unwinding is there, not the winding. Winding means combination. It will combine and form this one. Here unwinding is there, means it will be formed this one. So separate the strands. Okay, unwinding the double helix and separate the strands. So bases are exposed as a nucleotides line up, and each strand is a complementary manner. Always here also A double bond means two. In this also same bonding will be present. Okay, two identical copies of this new existed where only already existed before the process by the individual nucleotides join and create a new DNA strand. Okay, so it's complex and it involves the many steps, and it is this one. Okay, so this is the process of this one. Here 5' mononucleotide and the free side of this 3' hydroxyl groups will be present in this one. Both new strands are here 5' to 3' directions. 5' to 3' directions. Okay, so human cell contains, actually our human cell contains how many pairs of this? 23 pairs, means which are 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes. So this information, genetic information passed through from generation to generation. Okay, so this is the important one. So sequence is faithfully copied in during replication. So that's why DNA isolated from the same species will have the percentage of nitrogen bases. So this is about the replication process. Okay, next one is RNA, so I will explain in next class. Actually I want to tell one thing here. 5' mononucleotide triphosphate, catalyzed by enzyme DNA polymerase. I have already explained you, DNA polymerase will be there. So here 3' to 5' directions will be there. Here our DNA molecule is having 150 billions. Billion means 100 crores. So 150 into 100 means here this much of crores of 15,000 crores of genomes are present in our body. Okay, in our body. So this will be helpful for the means transformation of genetic information from generation to generation. In next class I will explain about the remaining topic. Thank you.